Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your. Will Hield become even more important in the postseason? The Warriors don't have many big three-point threats, which makes Hield's skill set even more valuable as defenses will likely pay even more attention to the star duo of Stephen Curry and Jimmy Butler. Fans will be hoping Hield can return to being the 20-plus point per game, three-point shooting player in the playoffs. Even if Hield can improve his game, he'll be traded after the season. Buddy Hield to be traded to the New York Knicks. The Dubs will face the soaring Houston Rockets in the number 2 versus number 7 first-round Western Conference playoff matchup. Curry and Jimmy Butler can be depended on to perform, but significant questions surround the production of their supporting cast. If a declining ex-Philadelphia 76ers guard continues to disappoint as a talented perimeter shooter, he could be part of a summer trade that would send him to the New York Knicks. Like many predicted, Buddy Hield's red-hot three-point shooting display to start the year hasn't been sustainable. Hield, who shot above 40% from deep in October and November, has cooled off recently. Hield's shooting mechanics and base are solid, but he isn't drilling catch-and-shoot triples at a high enough clip entering the playoffs. Hield connected on less than 36% of his three-point jumpers during Golden State's final 8 regular season contests and finished 0-3 from deep against the Grizzlies. Considering a 6'6" Knicks forward could also part with his respective franchise this summer, the Warriors could consider a meaningful wing swap. The New York Knicks don't have any truly terrible contracts on their books, Sir Charles in Charge's Michael Sines wrote Sunday. One player who is up for an extension after the season is Mikal Bridges. Bridges is in line to make upwards of $40 million per season on his next contract. Is that truly something the Knicks would want to pay? In an attempt to get ahead of the contract issues that could lie ahead for New York, it may be a best-case scenario for the Knicks to try to trade Bridges this offseason. Like Hield, Bridges has a chance to prove he's worth investing in moving forward. The Villanova product was solid during the regular season, but he must show that he can be a trustworthy number 3 to 4 scoring option for New York in a playoff environment. Hield and Bridges are far from safe heading into the playoffs. Jimmy Butler grabs attention with 3-word message before Warriors' playoff debut. Jimmy Butler was not destined for greatness. He had to grind his way toward a potential Hall of Fame career. The Houston, Texas native became homeless at just 13 years old after his mother kicked him out, was not highly recruited out of high school and barely got drafted in the first round of the 2011 NBA draft. The adversity did not stop once he arrived at the association. Because he landed on a veteran Chicago Bulls team, Butler's early opportunities were slim, especially on offense. He did not average double digits in scoring until his 3rd season. The former Marquette standout seemed best suited as a defensive force, and little else. That would have been perfectly fine for the number 30 overall pick, and a rousing success story when factoring in his background. But Butler was not content. He developed into a two-way star and elevated every team he played for, culminating with 2 unlikely NBA Finals appearances with the Miami Heat. The playoff Jimmy legend was born during his time in South Beach, as he elevated his game during the most crucial time of the year. Fast forward to present day, and Butler is still doing that. Only now, he is wearing a different uniform. Following a tempestuous end to his Heat tenure, the 35-year-old is now revitalizing the Golden State Warriors. A mid-season trade has done wonders for both parties, with the former getting his monster 2-year contract and the latter earning another chance to inflict damage in the Western Conference. Jimmy Butler recorded 38 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists and 3 steals to help push the Dubs past the Memphis Grizzlies in the NBA play-in tournament. A meeting with the number 2-seeded Houston Rockets in the opening round of the playoffs now awaits. The 6-time All-Star wing is ready for the challenge, embodying the mindset that has allowed him to craft one of the more unlikely NBA legacies. Butler posted a video of himself practicing on Instagram, with a caption that reads, "Can't rush greatness." Breaking their NBA play-in tournament curse, the Warriors used an extra game as a gift to get back into the playoffs, earning a trip to Houston to play the Rockets. These two teams have a long history in the playoffs, too. The coach is new, as is the roster, but the bad blood remains. The Warriors won the season series 3-2, and their core has much more postseason experience. They'll be leaning on that to take down the number 2 seeded Rockets, starting Sunday night. Will that be enough? Here are 4 keys to the Warriors getting 4 wins in the first round against the Rockets. Jimmy Butler blew a kiss and thanked the basket nearest the Warriors bench at Chase Center in Tuesday's win against the Memphis Grizzlies after making back-to-back free throws. Butler hates missing free throws and had gone 1 of 2 at the line his previous 4 trips. It was obvious how annoyed Butler was with missing a total of 6 shots at the free throw line, but it's even more clear what part of the game frustrates him most. Turnovers. Nothing compares for the 14-year veteran. I hate turning the ball over, Butler says. Free throws, but turnovers really irk me. A lack of turnovers had to make Butler happy after surviving the Grizzlies. The Warriors committed half as many turnovers as the Grizzlies, 20-10, and scored 27 points off turnovers, compared to giving up 12. Nearly every player, along with coach Steve Kerr, said turnovers will be the main factor in the Warriors either moving on to the second round, or having to answer a long list of questions from a first-round exit. They turned the ball over 20 times in their most recent game with the Rockets, a 106-96 loss, and that turned into 18 points for Houston. The Rockets in that game had 14 more fast break points than them, 16 more points in the paint and 2 more second chance points in a win where they shot 33.3% from three-point range. The equation is simple: don't give the Rockets more chances. Their half-court offense can keep them out of games, but they make up for it by hitting the offensive glass and sprinting past you. The Warriors, in their 3 wins against the Rockets, averaged 11.7 turnovers and 14 points conceded off them. But in their 2 losses, they averaged 21 turnovers and 24 points conceded off them. Ball security will either make or break the Warriors against the Rockets. Like a phantom haunting him all over the court, nobody made Steph Curry look more human this season than Amen Thompson. The 22-year-old made his Defensive Player of the Year case in the final regular season game between the Warriors and the Rockets. Thompson had 3 steals and 2 blocks, badgering Curry all game. Here's what an off night it was for Curry: his 4 turnovers were more than the 3 points he scored. Curry was 1 of 10 overall and 1 of 8 on threes, making a heave at the end of the first half. Thompson was the main defender, guarding Curry's 9 missed shots just once. But it was all the off-ball trouble that Thompson caused. Curry played 3 games against the Rockets this year and averaged 16.3 points on 36.4% shooting, 16 of 44, and 30% on threes, 9 of 30, all being incredibly low numbers for him. The Rockets will force the referees to adjust to them, particularly with the physicality of guarding Curry. He has scored just 5 points with Thompson as his primary defender this season, going 2 of 8 overall and 1 of 6 from deep. Curry's 0 of 5 with Brooks as his main defender, all being 3-pointers, but 4 of 8 with Van Vliet on him. Can Curry exploit Jalen Green or Alperen Sengun in the pick-and-roll? Can Butler's early scoring recently allow Curry to cook when it counts most? In the simplest of terms, this series can be decided on Kerr finding ways to free up his 37-year-old star. Curry is the king of adjusting throughout a series, and the opposing coach called him out for crying about fouls last game. Every Steph stopper has eventually failed. The mental and physical toll of a renewed rivalry should be a treat. Big versus small. Houston houses a starting backcourt of a 6-foot Van Vliet and a 6'4" Green, who plays even smaller. Then, there's just a long line of players who are big, long, and want to impose their size over you. An Ime Udoka-led team can throw Tari Eason and Jabari Smith Jr. at you off the bench, and they're sure to go to the 2-big lineup of Sengun and Steven Adams. Those two played 162 minutes together this season and had a 29.9 net rating with a 122 offensive rating and 92 defensive rating. As Sengun had a 19-point, 14-rebound double-double last game against the Warriors, including 7 offensive rebounds, Adams was a +7 with 8 rebounds in 17 minutes. Curry went 3 of 10 to 1 of 7 from 3, when Sengun guarded him this season. Adams defended him for 11 seconds and forced a turnover. Sengun offensively has not been good in the post with Green on him. In the Warriors' 3 wins over the Rockets this season, Sengun was a -36. That too-big lineup cannot work when Curry's on the floor. The biggest flare-up less than 2 weeks ago was with Draymond Green and Sengun. Watch the 22-year-old try to make a statement on the 35-year-old. And watch how the 4-time champion responds. Against the Grizzlies, Green kept so many possessions alive, and he knocked numerous balls out from the scrum. The Warriors need him to contain Sengun on the offensive glass and remain out of foul trouble. Will Kerr show his faith in Kevin Looney? How much of a factor can Quinton Post be as a stretch 5 to pull the Rockets' big men away from the rim? Both Gary Payton II and Moses Moody can have major roles in small ball lineups. Moody should have opened shots the Warriors need him to knock down, and Payton was the Warriors' best player against the Rockets last game with 16 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists and 3 steals. Then there's the player who can match the Rockets' youth, size, and athleticism. Is this the Kuminga series? His skill set would suggest yes. So would his numbers against Houston this season. But Jonathan Kuminga remains the biggest question mark for the Warriors' playoff run, as well as the offseason. Kerr essentially declined to answer a pre-game question about Kuminga on Tuesday before the Warriors' play-in tournament game, saying that conversations to maintain a player's mental strength can't be necessary at this stage of the season. But Kerr and the Warriors will have to hope Kuminga has stayed ready, mentally and physically, for a series he very well could be needed in. He'll contribute, Green said later that night. He's great. He's getting his work in. That's all you can do in that situation is get your work in. And he'll be meaningful for us in that series. I have zero doubt about that. I think the challenge for him is to stay mentally engaged, as it is for anyone in that situation. But I have zero doubt in my mind that he's going to help us in this series. He will, 1000%. Kuminga played in 4 of the Warriors' 5 games against the Rockets this season, missing their 105-98 win on February 13 while still dealing with a badly sprained right ankle. The 4 games, 2 starts, he did play were a sample of why it could be hard for Kerr to completely ignore him. Kuminga averaged 21.3 points and 6.8 rebounds in 28.8 minutes per game against the Rockets.